Now let's talk about the events which occurs in the follicle in follicular phase of menstrual cycle. So what happens is that in a follicle there is inner layer of granulosa cells and outer layer of theca cells. So FSH, there is two cell theory that FSH acts on the granulosa cells and LH acts on the theca cells. Okay, two gonadotropin, two cell theory is there. So when FSH acts on granulosa cells, what happens is that granulosa cells, first of all, they lack CYP17 enzyme, which has two components, 17 hydroxylase and 1720 lyase. Because of it, there won't be production of androgens in the granulosa cells. Therefore, granulosa cells, they depend on theca cells for their substrate. So what happens is that granulosa cells, they form androgens and progesterone, and these androgens and progesterones, they diffuse into the granulosa cells. Now granulosa cells possess an enzyme which is CYP19, that's aromatase enzyme. Aromatase enzyme has the capability to convert testosterone into estradiol. Okay, this aromatase is FSH dependent. That is, whenever there is increased FSH in the body, that leads to induction of aromatase enzyme. Usually it occurs in follicular phase of cycle. So testosterone is converted into estradiol. So main estrogen in the body during follicular phase is estradiol. Now this estradiol, it acts on endometrium, okay, to prepare endometrium for future pregnancy, to cause proliferation of endometrial cells, to increase the thickness of endometrium. Okay, also E2, it increases LH receptors on theca cells and also increases FSH receptors on granulosa cells. Now this estradiol, it exerts a negative feedback effect on FSH. So relationship between FSH and estradiol is reciprocal. FSH causes production of estradiol, whereas estradiol inhibits release of FSH. Now talking about the role of LH, mediates androgen synthesis in the theca layer. Androgen synthesis is an important because it is a substrate for aromatase and estradiol, and for proper growth of follicle, increased intrafollicular estrogen concentration is very important. It's very important to have LH within LH window, that is greater than LH threshold and less than LH ceiling. LH should neither be too low that the substrate, the androgens, are not formed in the follicle, and it should not be too high, which may lead to high androgen concentration in follicle and thereby bring about follicular atresia. Also, granulosa cell layer, it secretes inhibin B. Inhibin B also decreases FSH. So towards the end of this follicular phase, there is decrease in the synthesis of FSH, increase in estradiol, and increase in LH.